Hi friends, I'm Scott Giles, minister and hypnotist, and welcome to Power Talk, my video blog where I cover topics that interest me, focusing on how you can use the power of your mind to take control of your life. If you want to know more about my professional work or sign up for my free Substack newsletter, Power Lines, check out my website, which I'll tag in the description. If there is something in your life that you feel is out of control, using hypnosis can turn that around. Well, today I want to talk about rejection. Getting rejected either by someone else or a situation such as losing a promotion isn't any fun at all. But it's not all bad. And that's what I want to talk about. As we grow up, we are all socialized by our parents and by our families and communities. We are taught, often indirectly, how to behave with others. As part of that learning, we will make mistakes because that's how human beings learn. When we make mistakes, we get corrected. Now, correction can occur in a loving and appropriate way. It basically becomes guidance. Or correction can be done in a bad way, such as shaming, punishment, or even abuse. The experience of being critiqued or corrected in a way that makes one feel bad is so traumatic that we quickly learn to avoid it. And that manifests as social caution, always putting our best foot forward until we're sure of ourselves. Or, even worse, it can manifest as avoidance. I know people of both genders who have been so hurt by the rejection they've experienced in the dating world that they swore off dating permanently. Or people who just keep their head down at work and take pains not to stand out and thereby miss opportunities to excel that they might otherwise have had. They don't ask someone they really like out because they're afraid the response will be negative. They don't raise their hand in a committee meeting and offer to take on a job because they're afraid they might be shamed if it doesn't turn out well. Well, I believe it is a mistake to seek to avoid rejection by making yourself smaller. Instead, if we image rejection to be like rain, what we want to be like is a duck. A duck stays dry even in a bad rainstorm because the rain rolls right off the back of a duck. I think it's better to get to a place where rejection rolls off us in the same way. My late father was a real estate professional, and he loved doing what in the real estate trade are called FSBOs. That's an acronym that stands for sale by owner. Whenever he found someone trying to sell their house on their own, he would approach them to see if he could get the listing for his office, because that's how he earned commissions. He always used to say, there is no limit to the amount of money you can make in real estate, provided you can stand the rejection. Because when you make your living seeking to sell something to people, the door is going to be slammed in your face more often than not. Well, this echoes something I learned from a man I much admired, the late Clement Stone. He was an insurance executive who was once one of the richest men in the world. Stone started out selling insurance policies door to door, and he had a lot of doors slammed in his face. But he worked out that for every 10 doors slammed in his face, he would sell one policy. So when the door slamming occurred, he'd tell himself that that was just one step closer to his next sale. Having 10 people say no brought him closer to that person who was going to say yes. And he became one of the most successful people in the world. But most people don't view rejection that way, and that's a shame. In a study by Elizabeth Mellon from the Department of Educational Psychology, Counseling, and Special Education at Pennsylvania State University, she found that people who experience multiple and frequent rejection develop what she calls the relationship victimization and rejection sensitivity, which is a fancy way of saying that people who are rejected a lot and don't handle it well actually suffer psychological harm. Worse, if you're neurodivergent, you're even more likely to suffer that harm. So what is a philosophical person to do? And I think the answer is to build your rejection tolerance so it doesn't bother you as much. First, lower your expectations about other people. Stop expecting people to treat you fairly. Instead, keep your guard up for a bit until someone has earned your trust, or at least shown you they're not out to hurt you. No one can hurt your feelings by rejecting you if you really don't know them. I mean, in my political work, I get rejected all the time as lawmakers on the other side of an issue show me the door. That doesn't hurt my feelings because I understand that's simply the way the game is played. I know that in politics, there's always another day and another way, and like Clement Stone counting the doors slammed in my face, I realize that risking a no from someone brings me closer to my goal of getting to a yes. Now, rejection will never be fun, but you don't have to develop a hang-up about it. It's just a numbers game, and someone turning you down doesn't say anything about you. But it does bring you closer to the next time someone will say yes. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. I'd like to invite you to join me. It helps me a lot if you tell others about my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you're wondering if I can be of help to you, consider attending one of our online classes or working directly with me. Feel free to reach out through my website for a free, no obligation meet and greet call, and we'll talk about it. Have a great week.